Hello and welcome to the culmination episode of the PBA Philippine Cup. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
And I'm Diego Dario. The San Miguel Beermen are back-to-back champions of the All-Filipino Conference, and we're here to talk all about it. This is Starting Lineup.
Dancing, swaying, shooting. Puts it on top and hits a nice dagger three. And then again.
Isai tosses to Netura.
We start off our PBA special by breaking down how exactly the San Miguel Beermen claimed their 12th PBA Philippine Cup title. And of course, we had to call in the expert. We're going to bring in the big guns. Welcome to the show, Coach Mark Molina. It's been a while.
Hey, Coach.
Been a while.
Welcome back.
Glad
Welcome
to be
back.
back. Yeah, guys. Thank you.
Before we discuss everything else, obviously San Miguel, correct me if I'm wrong, Coach, a lone founding member na lang
Right.
of the PBA, right? 31 titles. I mean, in 50, we're talking about 50 seasons, obviously. I'm sure it is very special to them because it is the 50th season, but can you kind of encapsulate 31 titles and talk about that kind of, tradition?
It's a tradition of excellence and winning for San Miguel. They've always supported their teams very well. Diba? They get a lot of the best players or the best coaches available, especially the last, I would say, maybe 15 or 20 years. A lot of those championships, lalo na yung All-Filipino, itong last 10, 15 years yan. Of course, Junmar is there, but the support of the corporation of San Miguel has always been there. Lalo na ngayon with the RSA in the forefront and Alphonsus Chua. They really, that's why they've built a winning tradition in that franchise.
Coach, 8 in the last 11 seasons for San Miguel, but obviously, Coach Leo Austria, now an 11-time champion coach, walked out the game yesterday, parang just a regular day for him, just like Coach Leo. But what makes him such a great fit for a team like San Miguel?
He knows exactly how he wants his team to run. That's the first thing. He doesn't deviate much from the system that he wants to run. Of course, nandyan si Junmar kaya yan yung focal point niya lagi, especially on the offensive end. How do you maximize Junmar? That's the first. He knows what his strengths are. And number 2, I think ang galing niya mag-adjust. Among all of the coaches in the league, he really knows, he can read, in this case with TNT, Chot will throw a lot of things at you. That's his style. He would mix it up a lot. Right. But for everything that TNT was trying to do, meron laging sagot si Coach Leo Austria. And that's why in a 7-game series, you have a superior talent like Junmar, and then you have a great coach who knows how to adjust to what the opposition is doing to you in Leo Austria. It's hard to beat him in 7 games. Kaya ang record of Coach Leo, 8-0 in the finals in the All-Filipino.
Right. Wow.
I don't think it's unheard of because it's so hard to beat him in a long series because he's so good in adjustments.
Even at an 8-0 clip, sabihin na natin, is he still an underrated coach? Is there not enough conversations about him?
Yes.
In your opinion, Coach?
I think he is, and it's because of what he is. Tama sabi ni Diego, if you see him, it's like a regular guy. You bump into him.
True.
Yeah.
I've known Leo Austria a long time, since his days with Adamson.
Correct.
And that was before the San Miguel era.
Right.
The Leo Austria that I knew before is the same person. You talk to him 15, 20 years ago, and then you talk to him today.
It's
the same.
That's a great
He's
point.
the same guy.
Yes.
So I think that's why he's underrated, because he's like nasa shadows lang lagi si Coach Leo Austria. But he's a fantastic coach. He is exactly what San Miguel needs in this Junmar Fajardo era. And then he doesn't really get a lot of credit on the technical side, because people are always saying, malakas yung team niya eh.
Right.
Loaded
kasi sila.
But to me, that's not the case. You don't go 8-0 if you don't know your basketball. And to me, he's really a master of adjustment. A little sample. In Game 1, TNT, Coach Chot Reyes started Enciso, and Enciso scored parang 8 points in the first quarter.
First
and
quarter,
Aurin, Enciso
right.
and Aurin. So medyo nagulat si Coach Leo. What does Coach Leo do in game 2? He starts Wami and Jericho Cruz. So
And they do the same thing.
he took out his defensive players and Chris Ross because he anticipated, if Enciso is going to play, then I can play Wami.
Right.
So he took out his defensive players, put in offensive players in Wami and Jericho Cruz, and they immediately took a big lead in the second quarter. So those are the things that he does that are maybe unnoticed by a lot of basketball experts. But to me, he is really a master in the game of adjustment.
And matchups pa lang yun, Coach, yung pinag-usapan mo with Coach Leo. But,
Yeah.
and, people would always say na, he has a strong team, strong lineup every single season. But one thing to have a strong lineup, but also to bring out the best in all the
Maximize it.
players, right, that he has. And obviously, there were a lot of X factors in the finals. Na napalabas niya yung laro ng mga role players. And of course, Rodney Brondial. Like, we have to talk about
Speaking
him.
of Adamson,
Yep,
Fantastic.
that Adamson connection. Game 5 and Game
Yeah.
6, he played tremendous.
Wow,
15 points and 17 points in Game 5.
and really mixing it up.
Yeah.
Before we go to Rodney,
Yeah.
previous finals, MVP of the finals was Jericho Cruz.
Right.
Another Adamson
boy, yeah.
Now, Rodney, grabe yung... I don't know if anybody expected na magagawa ni Rodney in games 5 and 6 what he just did. Rodney Brondial would probably be in the bench of another team somewhere if not for Leo Austria.
Yeah.
I'm not no disrespect
shade. Yes,
to Rodney. He's a hard worker.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't really say that Rodney Brondial is a 15-15 guy in the finals. But that's how... To me, look at San Miguel. If there's a hole, it's that power forward position.
Right.
Because sometimes they go big with Mo, sometimes they go small with Toliano. But they did not really have somebody who has complemented Junmar well ever since nawala si Arwin. But Rodney Brondial, in the last 2 games of the finals, he was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Because that's where the help will come from. When you're defending Junmar, first TNT, that's the weak part. So, pabayaan natin si Rodney.
Give that up, yeah.
Because we have to double up or put a lot of our priority defensively on Junmar. But Brondial knew how to play with Junmar. Number 1, offensive rebounds. San Miguel absolutely killed TNT in rebounds in the last 2 games. That's why they won the championship. And leading that forefront was Brondial. And then those little floaters, it became very consistent. For Brondial. We didn't see him play like this in Adamson because in Adamson, bruiser and everything.
Right.
He's still
Which
that
he
player.
can still
oh,
do,
yeah,
as
he's still
we
that
saw
player.
also, right? Yeah.
But to have that offensive skills, because he knew he would get his chances playing alongside Junmar. It was
Yes,
fantastic.
yes.
So give a lot of credit to Leo Austria for doing this, and of course for Rodney Brondial to be ready.
Ready. Right.
Kasi this is not the first time he's been
Yeah,
with San
yeah,
Miguel. It's like 5-6 years na nandyan eh. But finally, I think
His number was called.
He's
Yeah.
found a way also to play,
Yeah.
take advantage of playing with Fajardo.
Just as a footnote, di ba, you talk about Jericho Cruz, talk about Rodney Brondial. Prior to the series starting, everybody's X factor was Don Troliano, another Adamson guy, di ba? But okay, you also wanted to highlight Marshall Lassiter in this series. Go ahead, Coach.
Games 1 and 4, Lassiter did not score. 0. 0 in game 1, 0 in game 4. And it's not coincidence that those are the 2 games that TNT won. And then you look at game number 2, game number 3, 5 and 6. Marshall scored in double figures in those 4 games, especially game 5 and game 6. He's at this stage of his career. He's still very effective. But you cannot count on Marsh to play 30 minutes or even be consistent in a 7-game series. But when it comes to winning time, 2-2, the score was 2-2. You know you can count on him because he's been there so many times.
Right.
There's still nobody better to hit an open 3-pointer, an open jump shot, because of all the attention again on Junmar and CJ than Marshall.
Right.
In the clutch, he still delivers, and he delivered in game 5. He delivered in game 6.
Yung mga seniors, bigat nung 5 and 6, like Chris Ross, the 40-year-old was also huge defensively. He
Yep.
was also huge against Calvin Oftana
They all,
in the
they all
fourth
had their
quarter.
moments in
Right.
game. Earlier this season, Stautua was playing well.
Right.
So all of these role players of, you can call them role players, but they're really very established stars
They're
as well
vets
in the
already,
league. But they all know how to play with the Junmar CJ Perez
Right,
tandem.
Yeah, been there, done that for a lot of
Yep,
these players.
yep,
So
yep.
we'll talk more about the champs. Stay tuned. You're watching Starting Lineup. Welcome back. You're still watching Starting Lineup. To nobody's surprise, Junmar Fajardo leads the San Miguel Beermen to another gold medal, and he also takes the title of Best Player of the Conference and Finals MVP. And here to tell us how he was able to do all those, still with us, is PBA analyst Coach Mark Molina. I mean, Coach, no surprise, as I mentioned, with Junmar Fajardo winning Finals MVP. Definitely the best player for San Miguel, but he wins the first ever Ramon Fernandez Finals MVP trophy. Can you talk to us about that, Coach? Just having this Finals MVP under Ramon
That's
Fernandez.
Yeah.
To me,
Isn't it
that's-
just right, though, that
Right,
he's
right.
the first
That's
one?
appropriate that it's Junmar because
Yeah.
in that generation, and
He was-
I grew up watching Mon Fernandez.
It's the Junmar.
Big fan because Toyota fan ako. So
How did he play, Coach?
Jaworski
Just,
Fernandez.
yeah.
He
us
was a center because he's 6'5", but he didn't play
Guard
he didn't play like a center. Guard skills, triple double threat every
Oh,
game.
wow.
Then when he posts up face basket, and then he has that, of course, that I'm
El-
sure you've heard about the elegant shot.
Yeah.
Yung parang parang floater na
Na patagilid.
patagilid.
Yeah.
Na wala nang parang wala. Parang it's like the skyhook of
It's really,
of
yeah.
Karim, that nobody's really done that again,
Yeah.
and nobody followed Mon Fernandez doing that. But he was automatic. He was really the GOAT before Junmar. So tamang-tama that Junmar wins the first Mon Fernandez award, and then who's really for me really the greatest of all time in the league. I think it's already undisputed with all the hardware, with all the MVP awards. I think 9 already, and counting all those championships, the last 8 seasons with Coach Leo Austria winning the All-Filipino, the Philippine Cup.
In a way,
So-
di ba si Mon Fernandez was like an automatic finals MVP rin yan, di ba?
Oh, yes, for sure.
Like 19 championships, man. I mean, Ramon Fernandez won 19 championships and multiple finals MVP. And they were saying, di ba, na parang if it was a trophy that existed before, Alvin Patrimonio would have been a great candidate also because yun ang idol din ni Alvin di ba?
I think those three, for me,
Right.
the top level of when you talk about PBA, the
Big men.
They're like the Mount
all-time
Rushmore.
greats, the Mount Rushmore.
Di lang big
Those
men,
three,
Oh,
of all
Yeah.
players that
Right.
played in the league,
Right.
you really have to start with Mon Fernandez, Alvin Patrimonio, and then Junmar Fajardo.
Junmar, no?
Right.
They really dominated during their eras.
Okay, so let's talk about that domination. How is he still doing this? Even hampered, even with all of these injuries,
It's-
getting this El Presidente trophy.
To me, it's very simple. Junmar improves every year. It's insane to say that a 9-time MVP keeps on improving every year, but it's really Junmar Fajardo now to compare to Junmar Fajardo 10 years ago. It's a completely different player. Of course, yung dominance inside the post game has always been there, but now there's an outside shot.
He gets 1 to 2 every game, Coach.
Yes, pick and pop,
Yeah.
which never happened before. And then, and I mentioned this when I covered Game 1. In this conference, Junmar averaged 4.5 assists a game. Previous to this, all of the conferences before this, less than 2.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like 1.7,
something like that.
1.8.
Yeah, right.
To jump to suddenly 4,
Right.
this doesn't happen by accident.
Yeah.
Pinaghahandaan ito. I mean, the knowledge of the game, and then of course that teaching, recognition of double teams. So he always adds something. He always evolves to a different kind of player because he's not as athletic anymore as he was before, but he's still as dominant. And there's still nobody in the entire league who can match up with him one-on-one.
Yung improvement ba niya, Coach, if I may ask, no, Jegs, yung sinasabi mo na ngayon, pick and pop, that had something to do with him also doing all of the international stints.
Oh, for
Do you
sure.
think?
For sure. I think he started shooting from the outside when he started playing for Gilas with Coach Chot Reyes before. And then eventually, dinagdag na yan sa
Kasi iba yung laro
sa PBA game niya. But when needed, like in that last game, he really will give you fantastic numbers, 20 plus points. Pag yung mga biggest games of the conference. And then, si Coach Leo always, pag kailangan, syempre, dyan lagi tayo. You will not mess up with a winning formula. So, the dominance inside has always been there. But Junmar is still great until now because he keeps on adding to his game. So, he's not just good because he's tall and strong, but the skill level and the understanding of the game has really increased every year that he has played in
Coach, you mentioned the understanding of the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, Coach, or if you agree also. Every time we watch Junmar, or when I used to go up against their team, right? It would seem like Junmar's going up against the coach of the other side rather than the players. Because like matchup-wise, I don't think anyone would match up with Junmar, right? But he's so smart that he knows what kind of
Schemes
defense
already.
All the schemes. Correct.
10, 15 years in the league, alam na niya lahat. He's seen all the defensive schemes. Can you
That's
talk to
right.
us about that part of his game, Coach?
And that's why and you were part of the Meralco team
Right,
that beat them in the finals.
yes, Coach.
And you beat them because you played super fast.
Yeah.
So that you can
Only way.
you can score before Junmar is
Down.
established. Because if it's half-court game, you cannot beat San Miguel with Junmar. So that's to the credit of Meralco and your coaching staff. You played it the right way, and you had the pieces to beat them at that time. And you had enough bigs and baits and to slow him down a bit. But correct, you're right. It's really Junmar against whatever scheme is being thrown against him. But again, because it's a series, it's 7 games, or you have to beat them 4 times. It's hard to beat somebody like Junmar 4 times because sooner or later,
figure it out.
maintindihan niya yung ginagawa
He'll
na sa
figure it
kanya
out.
eh.
Yeah.
And all coaches, you will just run out of schemes.
Right.
Because, I mean, in the PBA, there are only 10, 12 teams. So, you get familiarized with all of these schemes that's being thrown at you. And that's how smart he is.
Yeah. Hoping
Alam na niya yung gagawin niya eh.
hoping and praying is not the plan, sabi nga nila.
Yes.
And that's what you can only do. Oy, ilan lang makakapagsabi they beat Junmar in the final. So okay yan. As a last question, and again, tell me if I'm wrong. Pareho rin silang Cebuano, di ba, Coach? Si Ramon at saka si El Presidente at saka si Junmar.
Si Ramon Fernandez
Is the-
was born in Leyte, I believe.
Oh,
But he's
okay,
based
okay.
he studied in Cebu in San Carlos. He played college basketball
There you go.
And Cebu is now his home.
There
So
you go.
he's based in Cebu.
So parang talagang kahit pa paano may connection
No,
talaga. And parang bata niya yan eh, di ba?
I'm pretty sure I read it somewhere that Mon Fernandez was already teaching Junmar
there
when he was playing in UC.
There you go. There
So
you
at some point they got connected already when Junmar was still very young. Some skills training.
Correct.
Because of the height of Junmar.
Yeah, that's why also he was saying that award
Meron talaga.
probably means more than anything to him. Because it is El Presidente branded
Tama.
yung trophy na yun. Wow, what an honor for Junmar Fajardo. All right. We'll take a break. One more segment about this PBA championship when we come back. Welcome back. We're still talking about the PBA, but this time we're talking about special awards now to end our show. Coach Mark Molina has a few ideas of some of the awards that we are giving out for this season. And we're going to start with the most improved player in your eyes.
Hands down, CJ Cansido. What a jump from his rookie season. Rookie season,
Up and
mostly
down.
off the bench. There are games he'd score in double figures. The games, wala naman siyang gagawin. But because he did get that much playing time. But this conference, when Newsome started out from the injury list,
injury,
he was able to start. But hindi na siya umalis sa starting lineup. and he's now the leading scorer of Meralco. I think averaging 18 points a game, something like that. And he is one of the brightest stars in the league. He's gonna be a superstar soon if he's
for
not
sure.
yet, and for a very long time.
He's always had that parang potential and aura and
Right.
all that. It was just a matter of time for this guy. We know him very well.
Yeah, that's
Diego.
for sure. And the UAAP, obviously Rookie of the Year, and then played for UP. Medyo naging spot-up shooter siya then. And then he told me, nang
Because of the
nag-abot pa kami
ACL.
sa Meralco, yes, slowly he's getting back both games. Na he can drive, he can rebound. And then now he has that outside shot.
I first saw CJ when he was playing for UST in high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
FU played them, and he was like averaging almost a triple-double in high school. And then his first year in college with UST as well, halos ganun din.
Yes,
So
totoo.
So yung nakita ng UP na CJ is
Not
not
the same.
him.
Yeah.
Because he had 2 ACL surgeries,
Correct, yeah.
2 ACL injuries. So he had to reinvent his game a bit. But now, as you mentioned, Diego, bumabalik na yung athleticism niya, yung quickness niya. So we're seeing the complete offensive package. Maybe defensively, pwede pa siyang, sometimes ina-atake pa sila. I mean, Arar Pugoy attacked him so many times in the
Weight room.
series. Diba? But offensively, he's there. He's gonna be a superstar. He's such a nice player to watch.
Likeable guy, yeah.
Very likable, diba? Very charismatic. So
Correct.
I think that he's going to be one of the really young stars to look after in the league for the years to come.
Speaking of potential, you also have an award for biggest potential. Who? Dalawa ba?
Dalawa.
Parang dalawa.
Two
Okay.
players.
Sige. First one is
First one is who I would think would be the Rookie of the Year this season. So another player from UP, Juan Gomez Deliano, who had the triple-double.
wow.
In his
first game.
In his first game.
Who does that?
Diba? So, I was actually there because I was covering the next game. And then people were parang, nagkakagalo na sila sa arena and they were saying, oh, 1 assist na lang or 1 rebound na lang, magti-triple-double si... I was like, wow, on your first game. But he's that good.
Yeah.
I mean, very athletic, big guard, and then super smart, sees the game well, and then can score. He has everything. He has the complete package as a point guard.
Got a personality
Can be physical,
too, yes.
Got a personality.
Yeah.
And then may swag.
Meron talaga.
So,
Yeah.
when converging...
Bravado, eh.
Ginebra, di ba yung series
Yes.
sila?
Yes.
It was so interesting because of one.
Very
Because
interesting.
what he brought to the table,
Correct.
he wasn't afraid of the Ginebra, the barangay, the crowd and everything. So, I think he's gonna be the best point guard in the league pretty soon.
Yeah. I think that's good for the league. His attitude, his
Yeah,
swag
for
on the
sure.
court.
Yeah.
But
It's
coach,
a storyline.
yeah, the other guy you want to talk about, talking about potential,
Another guard, huh?
is a guy that he went up against
Yeah.
also, is RJ Abarrientos, coach.
So I take it back. The two of them will be the two best point guards. Although RJ kasi, RJ medyo combo eh. You know, not really, you don't label him as a point guard because of all of his scoring skills.
Yes.
But RJ, to me, hands down, is already the best shooter in the league. I think he's the Steph Curry of the PBA with the way he shoots the ball, catch and shoot off the dribble.
So confident.
And then he doesn't almost always makes the right decision when he has the ball. Sometimes nagiging too fancy.
Yeah.
So I think that's the one weakness that RJ has. But complete as far as the offensive package, pull up, floater, and then unlimited range sa three-pointer niya. So these two guys, RJ and Juan, I think ito nang not just for the PBA but also for Gilas. I think they will be the guards of Gilas for a long time.
Right. Second, I'm sorry, we have the best, we have the award for the two-way threat of the conference. You have Calvin Oftana, your choice for this two-way threat of the conference.
Calvin, undoubtedly, he's the best player of TNT.
TNT, right?
So, and when we saw that in the finals, we saw that all. What I love about Calvin's scoring is he's very efficient.
Yeah.
He's gonna give you close to 40% on threes, close to 50% on twos, and then from the line, he's almost automatic. Doesn't really take bad shots. You can play him in the post. You can play him outside. You can starting also to be a creator in the pick and roll. So he has that on the offensive end. And then on defense, meron pa rin. Sometimes a lot of times, like in that series, he's gonna play against CJ Perez.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna play also against the big. So he can guard from 1 to 4 very effectively. Maybe except for Junmar, kaya niyang bantayan anybody
of course.
in that San Miguel lineup.
Right.
And then when he plays for Gilas, usually si Coach Tim Cone will also assign him to the top offensive perimeter players of the team. So to me, he's
Ganda pa ng
really
stroke, coach.
Ganda.
Maganda talaga.
Ganda ng stroke
Basic.
ni Calvin. No?
So he's grown into, to me, the best two-way threat in the league because yung impact niya offensively and defensively halos parehas lang. Of course, di masyado natin napapansin yung depensa niya kasi we always see the outside shooting.
Right.
But that's sometimes overlooked. But Calvin is very good on both ends.
Coach, I think the PBA is in good hands
Good
with all
hands.
these players that you
Great
mentioned,
hands.
Coach.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, Coach. Good to see you again.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you guys for joining us. I'm Diego Dario.
I'm Boom Gonzalez. This has been Starting Lineup.